I'm gonna go ahead and call the meeting to order. First things first, let's do introductions. I'm John Schaefer, Vice Chair of the CDA and Newville County Commissioner.
Bob Blanc, Port Umatilla.
And practice way.
Jody Cutting, City, CCYR.
Lisa Millstar, Port Moro.
Jacqueline Holmes, Morrow County.
Evelyn Collins.
Fair,
Derek Weston, East Oregonian.
it's all you.
No, River Beach, Alcorn Media.
Curious into 40 Umatilla.
Kyla Von Harmer, Rox Hallis, Demographic.
Brandon Groff, Business Courier.
And just a second.
Lindsay Keanu, CTUI. I'm Jenny Miller, the church. Michelle, I'm being private citizen.
Brian Lemke, Western States Carpenters.
And Greg Smith.
Okay, and on the line, Emily, could you help us out with that?
Cindy Timmons.
Hi, Cindy Timmons, Umatilla County Commissioner.
Elizabeth Howard.
Hi, good afternoon. Elizabeth Howard, attorney at Schwabe and attorney for the CDA.
David Sykes.
David Sykes, Morrow County Commissioner, the alternate.
Jane Middleton.
Jason Middleton, Port Umatilla.
Doug Wilson.
Doug Olson, Umatilla County.
And Nick Warner, Umatilla County.
Ellie Doherty.
Kelly Doherty, citizen.
Les Nice.
Les Sites from the Salem Reporter.
And then there's a phone number. That's everybody.
Okay. Thank you. This time I'm gonna turn it over to Mr. Smith.
Yeah, not much to share. Each of you have a letter in front of you. I think the focus needs to be on the future development of the CDA, not on myself. So, tendered my resignation.
And did you want us to read the letter out loud or just, no? Okay. So we do have the resignation, so we will start now with, public comment period. If we don't want to address the board, now is the time to do so. Michelle.
It's okay to stand here. Everything okay? So, good afternoon, board members. In this letter, I'm kind of explaining some comments regarding the proposed easements for Umatilla Electric from the Morrow County portion of the former Umatilla Chemical Depot. There's a reference letter is the July 23rd from Morrow County Planning Director Cameron Mabbitt. And for those who don't know, I am the former Army Base Realignment Enclosure Environmental Coordinator and Base Transition Coordinator for Umatilla Chemical Depot. And I'd like to point out the subject easements are in conflict with the reuse plan of the former depot. The main documents that were developed for the legal transfer of the property from the Army to the Columbia Development Authority are, and this is not an inclusive list, but a reuse plan, the environmental assessment, also called the EA, the environmental condition of property, the easement and equitable servitude, the programmatic agreement, the finding of suitability to transfer, the finding of no significant impact, and the transferring the property to the CDA. When the depot, these are not working. When the depot went on the blacklist in 2005, the Army worked with the local community to establish a planning local reuse authority, a PLRA, for the purpose of developing a reuse plan for the depot. The reuse plan was completed in 2010 and approved by the Department of the Army Headquarters Installation Management. The plan specifically identifies reuse areas within the property that transfer to the CDA. In 2014, the PLRA was changed to implementing LRA and changed the name to the Columbia Development Authority. In 2016, the Army completed an environmental assessment which was based on the reuse plan. The reuse plan and the EA were then used by the Army to develop the subsequent environmental and transfer documents that were listed above. These documents were required by the Army to approve and transfer the property to the CDAs. The key documents regarding the subject proposed easement in the industrial restricted area are the reuse plan, the EA, and the finding of no significant impact to FONSI. And based on the reuse plan and the associated easement, the FONSI states to mitigate potential future impacts to biological resources, future uses of the wildlife refuge in industrial restricted areas shall be in compliance with Umatilla County, Umatilla Depot Refuge, Umatilla County codes, zoning codes, and Morrow County, Umatilla Wildlife Refuge, EA codes, Oregon law, and all applicable regulations. And the implementation of the proposed action or any of the alternatives would not result in significant direct, indirect, or cumulative impact on the quality of that natural or human environment. Redevelopment of the UMCD surplus property will result in manageable adverse effects and beneficial effects related to the socioeconomic and environmental resources. Since no significant environmental impacts would result from implementation of the proposed action, an environmental impact statement is not required and will not be prepared. So in other words, this was an environmental assessment to determine if an environmental impact statement needed to be done. One doesn't need to be done because the areas are being protected, or because the areas that would be protected would be impacted or protected under the reuse plan and the county codes. So, in essence, in other words, if the CDA had intended on developing the identified habitat areas, that would have been a significant impact. During the development of the reuse plan, the PLRA recognized that the depot contained the largest contiguous shrub steppe habitat in the Pacific Northwest. Their intent was to preserve the most undisturbed portions of habitat. These are the industrial restricted areas in Morrow County and the wildlife area in Umatilla County. Development of the two wildlife habitat areas would have created a significant impact. In the proposed Umatilla electric easement, the portion identified as Tract B is in the industrial restricted area for habitat preservation. The reuse plan specifically states this land bordered by general industrial zoning to the west, south, and east will be limited to the utilization of igloos for storage. Use of roads for ingress or egress to the igloos will be allowed, but all traffic and industrial must be sensitive to the objective of the preservation of shrub habitat. As such, all traffic in the restricted industrial zone must remain along the roads. A total of 942 acres are designated as restricted industrial. Putting power lines in the industrial restricted areas is in conflict with reuse plan and all subsequent environmental transfer documents. The Morrow County Planning Director, Cameron Mabbitt, identified this in the reference 2024 letter. Paragraph 3, summary path forward states, it is possible to remove the restricted language with an amendment to the comprehensive plan and the UMC overlay zone. The extent to which other relevant documents would also require reconsideration or amendment is not the jurisdiction of Morrow County. Those other documents may possibly include the redevelopment plan, environmental assessment, and the programmatic. The deed also includes some restrictive language, but is not part of this analysis. So as discussed above, decisions to approve the transfer of property to the CDA were dependent upon multiple layers of environmental documentation based on the reuse plan. Therefore, it's not possible to change just a part of it. In addition, the CDA has an intergovernmental agreement that was executed in 2014. Per paragraph 1D of the IGA, the purpose of the CDA is to implement the final reuse plan. As you can see above, the proposed easements are in conflict with the CDA's reuse plan, the CDA's IGA, and the Army's subsequent environmental and transfer documents, including the finding of no significant impact. And I have attached those documents that are referenced in there.
So I can read that letter, right?
I'm sorry, what?
You're not gonna read that letter.
I'm not reading the attachments, no.
Okay.
But do you have any questions? Because I know this is a complicated process. And I was in the middle of it and developing these documents and putting it together, so I'm well versed in it, and I always offer to assist the CDA in, the processes of reuse and transfer. So if you have any questions, but this is the sort of thing that could put you in court. And that's based on, and I'm not an attorney, I am not giving you any legal counsel here. But when the CDA, I think it was back around 2014, the BRAC office offered to provide list of corporations that specialize in BRAC law and that support underground sites, and I don't think we've used them since then, but those are available, and so this is the sort of thing that's here at 12 plus. So, okay, I'm being sarcastic.
Thank you.
I'll shut up.
We'll put that in the record, so thank you very much. So, appreciate that.
Anybody else you talk to have to work with?
Were you guys speaking?
Me?
Yeah. Oh,
I can't see.
I was not, okay, anybody else want to speak? Okay. Here, you see none online. Move to the consent agenda. Does anybody want to pull anything out of the consent agenda?
The board meeting minutes, Mr. Chairman, on December 16th, I had one question.
Okay.
It was in page. Page 6, the middle of the page. It lists this motion that was made by Mr. Tubby, moved to withdraw the environmental services agreement, ethics violation, that paragraph, and then it has the, above it, it has the results of the vote of that motion. Should that be? It looks like my paragraph above, it looks like that we've got the results of the motion before the motion was made.
It looks like it's actually on the next. Page.
Page 6.
On page 6, so the first one is.
I think the results, I think it's accurate on page 7, I think is the vote.
So,
Is that
I
right?
was gonna say, so earlier on page 6, is Mr. Fifty moved to add a deadline to the offer of personal services agreement to December 31st. And then conversation, and then that's the first vote. And then motion failed, and then that's a break, and then Mr. Tubby moved to withdraw the employment service agreement, and that vote is on page 7.
Yeah.
Okay, so the vote on page 6. Where the board was polled, what is that vote for?
That was one of the right above where it says, Mr. Peterson moved to add a deadline to the offer of personal service.
Okay, all right,
Right above it.
thank you.
Any other questions on the consent agenda? With that, I would entertain a motion.
I move to approve the consent agenda. Second.
Got a motion, a second, any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, the drop down attention should probably vote to accept the resignation. Got a motion, got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. That being said, I would like to thank Mr. Smith for his service to the Columbia Development Authority. He served in this role for a very long time, and I do appreciate everything he's done for the region, so. Okay, the work session, Umatilla County litigation. Okay, I think this is gonna be the best part of the meeting. Okay, so as everybody here knows, the parties have been working towards a mutual release and settlement agreement to resolve the disputes arising from the March 26, 2024 resolution and the pending lawsuit. At this point, it looks like all members of the CDA are here and are prepared to sign today. If that's the case, we can go ahead and execute the settlement agreement in counterparts right now, and today would become our effective date, which would allow us to move forward with the remaining steps. Does anybody have, and I've got a signature page too, by the way. And I think this is, I think all of our councils have seen this and everything. So, start passing it around. Yeah, let's get it all on one page and then we'll send that off to attorneys.
One of these yours, just do it, right? Print my name on the inside here.
Just sign it, yeah.
I'll just.
There you go. Okay. No, sure. Hope those could sign that. Okay, so. With that, so now once the settlement agreement is fully executed, the next step under section 5 is for the Port of Umatilla for the Port of Umatilla and Umatilla County to sign a joint written statement about the amended motion. Before we formally present it to the board, the agreed upon form of that statement is already attached to the settlement, which is back here. And is already attached to settlement, and it's an agreement as exhibit 2. It's a straightforward document that reflects our shared commitment to support the amended motion and work together on redevelopment of the former depot property. And I have that here somewhere as well. And that would just require our 2 signatures.
Be glad to sign it.
Yeah, we need 2. That's the thing.
Ink's dry.
Okay. And okay, so I do want to flag one procedural point about timing. Under section 2 of the settlement agreement, it says that Umatilla County will make the amended motion at the first meeting of CDA following the effective date. Well, today's the effective date. Because we're just now finalizing the agreement today, that means the amended motion needs to come at our next regular scheduled meeting. Unfortunately, not this one. That's not just a technicality. Waiting until the next meeting also makes sure that we're in compliance with any public notice requirements under Oregon law for the substantive action taking on the property distribution. So to be clear, with the fully executed settlement agreement that we now have, Umatilla County is prepared to formally present the amended motion at the next CDA board meeting. And the Port of Umatilla has agreed to second it at that time was presented in the agreement. And I wouldn't be opposed to having a special meeting just for that. I don't know what everybody else's thoughts on it. So, and then that way we can properly notice it and get that taken care of the way it needs to.
Does there have to be a certain waiting period or anything like that, or do you know?
48 hours, I think.
Yeah, it's 48 hours. And let's see. We could do it, I don't know, it's Friday morning, was that too soon for everybody? I don't know whether they had on Friday morning.
I'm at a board retreat, but I will step out.
Just needs to be a Zoom meeting, right?
Yeah, we do that on via Zoom, so.
I'm out of town Friday, but if Jerry's available to sign as the alternate, right?
Work there.
You available, Jerry? Friday?
It's just a vote though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just about,
Well, then he could
yeah,
be the representative for
okay,
the court.
perfect. Perfect. All right. So Friday. So Friday, what time is there? A time that does not work for anybody?
10 to 12,
What's that?
10 to 12.
10 to 12? I don't think this will take very long. Would 9 o'clock work? Well, I guess I'll go to ask Jerry. Jeff, you get it at 9 o'clock?
Yep.
Yep, okay, 9 o'clock Friday morning. So. Let's do that.
Chair Schaefer, are you okay if I'm not in attendance at that special meeting? I do have a conflict at that time.
If you're okay with not being there, we're okay. I think,
Yeah,
I'm quite certain it'll be a pretty cordial, quick meeting, so.
that sounds good. Thank you.
All right.
So the
Thank
only
you.
item on the agenda, correct?
What's that?
It is the only-
Yeah, this will be the only item on the agenda. Yeah, thank you for that. Okay. Okay, personal services agreement. In light of, the letter we received earlier. I think it'd be a good idea to go out for an RFP. Is that? That's just kind of my,
Mr. Chairman, I recommend maybe we get 2 or 3 people, from the board to review the existing statement of work and craft that into an RFP.
I think that'd be
Give
good.
us about 2-3 weeks time on that.
Yeah, would that be, like, probably have that ready for the February? When is our February meeting, the 24th? Or the 17th?
I got the 24th on my calendar, if that's.
Yeah, it should be the 24th. I will not be in town, I will be out of town that day though.
On February 24th.
Yeah. See what Commissioner Warren doing, he's. I imagine Commissioner Warren would be available.
Well, I think we should have whatever the edited statement of work, and RFP should be directed probably prior to that. So you know, work before that.
Do I have like a work session somewhere?
Well, just send it out to, I think coordinate with Elizabeth and send it out, like we did the last one, send it to Elizabeth and she can send it out to everybody.
Okay, yeah, good idea.
And just for review, and they can bring the reviews to that meeting.
Yeah.
On the
Does that make
24th.
sense to you, Elizabeth?
Are you talking about the statement of work, the Exhibit A? Is that what you meant? To review that?
Yes,
Okay.
I think two decision items, one is like maybe the 2 or 3 people, the CDA board meeting to, coordinating, I guess we can't meet really, but at least review the statement of work and then send it over to you for any kind of game. Make sure everything's all in order and then bring it to the next, I guess just 2, or 2 and 3. But then we can bring it to, probably the week before the 24th, and then people will have a week to review it to bring it to the 24th.
That sounds good.
Yeah, is that ready for the 17th and then to review for a week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That-
Yes.
Okay.
And are we doing an RFP or a job description, or which one are you considering? Are you considering both?
I would say both.
I think it's just contract RFP.
Just do a contract.
Cause I think, well, and Elizabeth, I think that's another question we'll probably figure out.
Yeah.
Going employment, yeah.
Okay.
Cause I think one thing we might need to do is, I don't know, name an interim in the temporary and then get that finalized and get the employment situated. And finalize before we move over to a contract.
I think we need to do that today.
Yeah. And I guess, I don't know how to do that procedurally. We have to go to executive session for employment matters or discussions. But it's not, we haven't notified that on that.
Yeah, we
Well-
have, yeah.
We do have the executive session listed, but is that what that was for?
No,
We didn't
I
notify
mean,
them.
No.
it does not include the employment related.
Okay.
discussions.
Right, so.
Could we include that on a Friday special meeting?
We could, or we could include it today as long as we tell the public under what statute we're going to speak
Yeah.
about.
That's correct.
So. I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear what you said, Lisa.
We can make that decision today and let the public know that's attending this meeting that we'll be adding an agenda item with the proper statute cited
On Fridays?
today.
Oh, for today.
Today.
Okay.
We could do that today.
And you said that's correct, Elizabeth? Thank you. Okay. So why don't we do that? We can have that then.
And we're going to have a work session prior to February 24.
I don't think we need a work session. I think just like whoever the two people are that work on it, just send it out to Elizabeth and send it out to everybody so that everybody has the whole board of people review that and then
Okay.
discuss and bring that on the 24th.
I think we need a discussion about the intergovernmental agreement
Okay,
between the parties. And I think we need a discussion about finances.
yeah.
So
Is that
we
a
may
separate-
just want to step back and add that to the agenda for today, if you wanted to add those things on.
Yes. Well,
Well, we have
So-
an other, so you could maybe add it in through the other.
Okay. Just put them both under other? Yeah, okay. Okay,
and are we going to add an agenda item for executive session today?
If you wanted,
And then I was with a special session or special meeting on Friday, is that what you mean?
No, the
No.
executive session today.
Okay, for session
The
today.
appointment.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah. And Mr. Chair, I think we need more meetings throughout the month of February. I will dedicate time if we need additional meetings for official actions. Including.
I agree.
I do too.
Needed.
Yeah.
So Tuesdays are bad in February for me. Thursdays aren't terrible. Except for the 12th. Thursday the 12th is terrible.
I can make just about any day work except for Mondays. I can make it work on though.
Would the 13th work? Friday the 13th for special meeting? Or work session, I mean, should say.
Yes.
Friday the 13th, probably lost it, you're wrong. Is there any time that does not work for anybody on that day?
May work.
Like our usual 1 p.m. that work for you, Bob?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
What time did you say?
One.
Yeah, that'll be, well, I guess we have to ask support. Can we utilize your space?
Yes. The sun is beautiful right now.
I have a pretty day.
Okay.
Okay.
We've got another meeting that's in the middle of the doodle poll right now for that day,
Oh.
but. It could be it's either probably either going to be 9 a.m. or 1 p.m. So
Okay.
we'll see how it shakes out.
On the 13th.
That's, I don't know, it could be the 12th or 13th. It's not scheduled yet, so I don't know when it's going to happen, but
Okay, we just leave this on the books for now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, anything else on the personal service agreement?
Just sort of like who wants to be the two to take a stab at it? I mean, I did it last time, so.
That's phenomenal. I was actually gonna nominate you two. JD and Lisa.
I'm happy to work on it again.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. All right, perfect. Thank you. Appreciate that. Fiscal agent. Now, did I see that Morrow County is, or Port of Morrow, sorry, is no longer being the fiscal agent?
We're trying to get out of this.
Yeah.
Of course, with this letter, that changed things a little bit. So. So we still have the, what's her name, Talisha? Is that her name that does the books? She does the book, the quick books.
Is that a contract or employment?
I think it's a contract.
Contract, that's
Contract.
yeah. Probably employment stuff then.
Okay.
So this time, your employee we have right now is Emily.
Was that
The only employee we have right now is Emily.
And, oh, I thought, Emily, did that change at all?
For what?
Or for you to be the employee? Are you still employed by a CDA?
So,
Good question.
yeah,
I do not know.
yeah.
As far as the Port of Morrow goes, we did final paychecks for both Greg and Emily.
Okay.
Can I-
Oh, yeah, please.
So, Joel and I were having a discussion about this. I think, so the CDA has an EIN. The CDA needs to apply for a BIN and, in order to do payroll. And the last, communication I received from Joel on that was that Greg was working on that. So Greg, I don't know if you have an update as to whether or not that has been done. Assuming that communication I got from, oh, is he no longer in the room?
Correct.
Oh, okay. All right. So that was the last I heard about that. And I know Joel is not there today. But that is, we need to have a BIN. And then my understanding was that that work was happening with our bookkeeper and that the bookkeeper was going to try to do payroll, but I have not received any further updates, and that was last week. Joel and I did speak with one of our employment attorneys about what CDA needs to do if that isn't ready to go. So somebody needs to jump in for Joel and find out what the status is on that today.
What is the BIN?
It's like It's the state equivalent of the EIN. So you have to have, yeah, business information number in order to be registered to pay your taxes, payroll taxes, and those sorts of things.
Do you know who Joel was talking to for that?
He understood the communication I had from Joel was that Greg was working on that.
Okay.
And I believe Greg was working with our bookkeeper. So I don't, if somebody has, Emily, if you have that contact for the bookkeeper and could share that, that would be great. I don't think I have that. But if Joel's not available to run point on this, somebody else needs to step in to run point on that today.
And maybe, Elizabeth, it sounds like so it's information, so I'm wondering if we need to make sure we have any kind of directive to retain and turn over all information, all like emails and correspondence, stuff like that, that former employees have.
Can you say that one more time, JD? I'm having a little bit of a hard time hearing you.
Sorry, direction for former employee, or can't have direction, but we need to have all that information retained, and sent over, so I don't know where, like emails and things like that are retained. So especially CDA related emails by staff.
Yeah, Emily, maybe you know that. I do not personally know that. We do have CDA specific email, and
Yeah.
Emily, you have access, I think, to all of those emails still, correct?
Okay,
So, yeah,
I don't know if there's any other equipment, notes, documents, papers, anything else like that.
all of that, yep. But
Yeah.
I personally don't know where that is at.
Me either.
So,
Yeah, so we'll need the email credentials too, to be able to have access to those.
well, Emily has that, correct?
Yeah.
Emily have all of that
Yeah.
information? Okay. Yeah, so I think Emily can help us with that, but we need to take immediate steps to address payroll.
Yeah, payroll stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, because I am under the understanding I'm laid off. It's a notice I received this morning, or yesterday morning, that I am not currently employed.
Who did you receive that notice from, Emily?
From Greg.
Okay.
So Greg, in his capacity as executive director, terminated you this morning.
Yesterday morning.
Yesterday morning,
Correct.
effective.
Yesterday morning. I am as personal interest as a citizen, just to, because I didn't feel right after it, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need a copy of that letter. I have not seen Greg's resignation. And I think we need contact to the payroll bookkeeper, all of that. And I need to know who my point person is to work with this on. John, I don't know if that can be you, given that Joel's not currently
How long
available.
Joel's out for, do we know that?
We do not know. I will give him a call when we step between regular session and executive. See if I can get an update.
If Joel is unavailable, it would fall on me, as vice, so,
Okay.
but I think Lisa's, I don't know if you heard Lisa, she said she's gonna try and get hold of Joel, if, break, so.
Okay. Yeah. But I think we need to talk to our bookkeeper directly to find out if she filed for the BIN. That would be the next. Yep. Emily, are you able to forward me the letter that you received?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, thank you so much.
Mr. Chair, do we, please, department balance?
I think that was in the.
That's in the financials.
In the financials.
Yeah, it should be the financial center. Yeah. So that next item is right there with the EIN payroll, so that's.
Yeah, but it's. Probably, some of this needs to be taken care of executive and paper decisions. Mr. Chair, with these, so the next items. The PSA, fiscal agent, EIN, all that stuff, if some of that needs to be discussed in executive session, we move that to executive session and then we move on to the next item, which is bat surveys. And take care of that other items and then move.
Does that sound good to you? I want to make sure, or sorry. Sorry, I'm in Elizabeth, I was looking at the thing, sorry, does that make sense, Elizabeth? To put that under executive session?
What we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Payroll and EIN,
Yeah, that stuff probably is not executive session related.
Well, I think, because I think apparently we don't have any employees right now. So I don't.
that's my understanding. Do you have a copy of that letter with you today?
Me,
Yeah.
of the my employment letter.
Yeah.
No, I just have it as an email.
Would you forward that to the board, please?
Mhm.
Did you already send it to Elizabeth?
Yeah.
Okay.
So is our intent to get through our work session items, go into executive session, then come back out for any actions?
I would think so, well, the fiscal agent, that's. Not even needed necessarily, other than in the payroll. We have no employees, but I think there's still some discussions we have to have around employment.
We need to have a discussion about ODOT as well.
Yeah. A lot.
Our drawdown on our road improvements. We have a drawdown here through November 30th, 2025 for 275,527. And Emily, what did you say today that you've got 700,000 coming?
I believe those invoices, I think there's two back to that.
Okay.
I think it's probably 700, I could be wrong. But we received those last week.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
There's one for 275 and there's one for 551. From Tapani to the CDA that will need to be turned into ODOT for reimbursement.
Those are like actions from the board though.
No.
There. Mr. Chair, I don't know, there's any, the other work session items, I don't know if there's. More discussion needs to occur on the fiscal agent or the EIN stuff until after our executive session.
Okay.
I don't know if there's, and there are things to discuss, but I don't think there's anything we can finalize until after. Executive session, so should we go on to the bat surveys?
Yeah, let's leave it at that, so I'm ready to move on.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go to the basket there.
So, good afternoon, I'm Lindsay Kiyono, I'm a wildlife habitat ecologist for the Confederated Tribes. And I'm here primarily for coordination purposes and really to introduce myself to those of you I haven't met yet. I'm the wildlife habitat ecologist who's been working on the depot on mostly the OWL project. But we are interested in the summer getting started with some biological surveys of the wildlife habitat zone. And I'm working with a group called the Northwest Bat Hub out of OSU on this. And the plan right now is for them to come out and establish some acoustic recorders over the summer for just about 4 days, so sometime between June and August. On our first pass, the area that I gave them to survey is the whole zone for wildlife habitat. So this was before I kind of knew that the likely distribution of the property. So I'm here because I'm curious about collaboration on this project and whether probably the Umatilla County is interested in collaborating on the bat detection work. We can discuss that offline. My primary reason for contacting the CDA is I know there's a lot of construction work going on near the wildlife habitat zone, and that could possibly interfere with our bat acoustic detection work. So that was something else I'm hoping to get a little more information on. If you happen to know that there is that kind of work proposed near one of these points that I have on the map there, one of the orange or yellow points, that would be helpful to know now because we're still in the early stages and can move our detection locations.
So where's the diagonal dotted line that's represent?
Oh, yeah, so you can feel free to ignore those and the larger orange square on that map. That's part of OSU's kind of larger study area, which is much larger than the CDA, but it's something that helped them choose those location points.
Okay.
But they are really semi-randomly distributed there, so that piece of the map is really not important.
So we're really looking at the red circles and the yellow triangles?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Gmail site's been taken out of that, correct?
If you mean,
That little job.
Is this, there you're right, you're,
Yeah, so this right here, you know.
yeah.
oh, yeah. Yeah, you can remember that I asked them to distribute the points within the black area there, so it's right on the edge of that.
Right.
Yep.
And that black area roughly corresponds with 4,019 acres and the other habitat for Umatilla as part of that.
That's right.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you need from us?
So, probably from you, Mr. Schaefer, actually, I hope you could think about whether or not you'd like to participate in kind of a joint exercise here with the bat detection work, or if you would prefer that the tribes move our detection just onto that 4,019 acres that the tribes is likely to be managing.
So when you say, okay,
So I think one of the challenges is like, so the 4,019 acres is about roughly here.
That's right, yeah.
And then this is the wildlife habitat area that will, as part of the litigation distribution, will go to Umatilla County.
Right.
So technically, all of this is kind of controlled by the CDA until it's passed over as part of the litigation we decided today. So that is the 4,000 acres, and this is the.
like part of that's gonna be, the porch as well. Because.
But so that excludes the initial development edge.
And that was that here, let me ask. This map might help us.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, so the black here is the same, the green plus the yellow.
Oh. All the entire yellow all the way down?
Yep.
Okay, so the reason why I wanted Bob to look at that is, because the counties are responsible from that red line to this red line. Before we take the rest,
Okay, okay.
so,
So it goes clear to the end yellow, to the southern end of the yellow.
yeah, I think it goes all the way
It does,
down
yeah.
to here, right? Yeah.
Yep, and you can see here now, this is just early planning stages.
I'm not gonna speak for the court, obviously, but, the county has no objections.
No, I don't see any problem.
Okay. And then again, is anybody aware of any road construction or other just kind of loud industrial noise near any of those points that we might need to be aware of?
This project is for how long?
Just 4 days over the summer.
Do we know what days?
We don't, but it's, at this point, it's flexible.
Because there is that road being built, but I think it's south of that.
Yeah, I think it's south and I think it's maybe too far east to impact that southernmost red point there. I think.
Yeah, I think that road will be, I think it'd be okay. So,
Well, the road's going all the way through there.
Does it go all the way?
Yeah,
To the west side?
it's going all the way over here.
Okay. Who's the best contact for that? Okay, the road construction work.
IRZ maybe? That IRZ or Tappaning's the contractor, IRZ seems to have a record.
I'll reach out to them.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's all I need. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, insurance renewal. Very good chance to take a look at that.
So once the property gets transferred, how much is the CDA going to have to insure?
I think that's a good question.
What's that?
Once the property is transferred, how much does the CDA have to insure? They won't own any property.
That's a good point.
You need to maintain your insurance until that happens, and we don't know when all of that will happen.
And it probably going fits and starts, I'm guessing, it won't all.
Yeah.
all at once. So just maintain it until it's all done and then amend as necessary for each one of those as it just gets distributed.
Correct.
Okay. All right, so you're saying we do need to extend our insurance until then? Okay.
Yes.
All right, well, I would entertain a motion.
To renew the insurance,
Yes.
I'll move to do that.
And I'm a second.
Okay, you got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. I think we're ready for executive session. Let's see. Elizabeth, I have, some language, but I don't know if it fits what we added to the agenda. Can I just read what's on the agenda? Would that be suffice, or would we need something other than that?
So we will need something other than that. We also, I've just been doing quick checking of the rules while you guys have been talking. And before we can convene an executive session to consider the employment of an employee, we have to advertise for the vacancy, and we have to make sure we have adopted regular hiring procedures. So I know you guys want to move quickly today, but I think we need to make sure we follow those steps before we have executive session on even an interim executive director.
Okay, so could we add that to Friday's agenda?
But we need to do that before we do today.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think I would suggest that you guys work on figuring out how you want to advertise the vacancy. And I'm not aware of regular hiring procedures. It's been a very long time since you have hired somebody. So my guess is that you probably don't have any adopted. Yeah. So I guess a question for you is, and again, maybe it would be helpful if we could take a pause now to see if we can get in contact with Joel to get any more information from him about the status of things, because I think that you guys would benefit from continuing least a part-time employee for a period of time. I just don't know, again, what the status of that is. Or we could try to figure that out between now and Friday.
So I can see the advertising, but do we need employment practices if we're gonna make it a contract, even the interim?
Yeah, because you guys right now are talking about an interim executive director would be an employee, so that would be somebody you would be hiring.
Could we contract somebody to be an interim?
You could do a contract. Yep.
But we'd probably still need to advertise that, correct?
Nope, that we would just need to do what we did before, where we made a motion that you would be putting the contract, you would be doing the contract without going through the procedures. It's the same process we went through for the personal services agreement for Gregory Smith and Company. We just need to have the contract ready.
We get something like that done before the end of the week.
Change the
As
contract.
part of. Well, so for an interim, I mean, I suspect it'd be a pretty small contract for a short period of time. Because then there's the larger RFP go out for the contracted services. So this is just for interim role for a period of 6 weeks or. I don't know what the timeline would be. It's just to keep wheels on the truck for a month.
Right.
While the figure RFP goes out for the contracted services and operations.
Yeah. So what we could do, if you guys have somebody in mind for that, we just need to get the agreement drafted. And we need to make the same sort of a motion that we did last time, where you move to say that that specific kind of contract is excluded from the procurement policy. And then you could have that agreement ready to go to that independent contractor for execution and have that independent contractor on board fairly quickly if you wanted to go that direction. And the benefit of that route for you is you don't need to do your payroll. You don't need to have payroll set up to do that.
We'd have to change the agreement that we had already kind of crafted, wouldn't we? We use that.
Yeah, it would have to be stripped down quite a bit.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
Especially if this is a placeholder. So maybe I'll just put it out there. So I guess. Emily, are you interested in entering into like an 8-week contract?
I would have to see it.
Yeah.
I will tell you that I mean, I was hoping that we'd get a break first and I could talk to Joel about this, but I think the court probably could extend employment a little bit longer to get us through here.
It's 6 weeks, right? Yeah, I mean, what the term is to get because it'll be a month before we get the RFP, and then it'll be another month to get an RFP while they're out.
Okay.
Or 3 to 6, I don't know how long we put the RFP out, so we're still probably 2 months out.
Well, if we could take a little break.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
I can do that.
Motion,
Yeah, let's,
motion to recess for 20 minutes, half hour, 15 minutes,
15.
15.
10. He's either gonna answer or not.
what was the motion?
Motion to recess for 15 minutes.
Okay,
Second.
got a motion and a second, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, we will reconvene at 2:15. Call the meeting back to order, appreciate everybody's patience on that. Okay. And I don't know, did you didn't get any clear answer from Joel then? Or did you?
I do not believe I got a clear answer from Joel. I don't think that he and Talisha have made any projects.
And so that being in mind, we do have question about what to do in the meantime between now and the interim position. Whether we get that filled or not, and one of those, you know, that meter was brought up was maybe we could offer Emily her current position and retro back to, I don't know, what day was it, Friday or Monday or whatever day the letter came,
Yesterday.
make an offer of retro back to that date and then give her a chance to respond to that to us. We shouldn't have to do it today, but give us an answer sooner rather than later, perhaps. Does that make sense, Ellen?
Mhm.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, question on that, so the termination letter, is that? This is a question for Elizabeth, whether that's binding or do we have to undo that?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I think you could withdraw it.
Withdraw it?
Yep, I think you could withdraw that.
So then we're back to payroll.
Then
Go ahead.
there's a payroll issue, and like I said, we will step in and reinitiate that until CDA has. Until another situation arises, I guess.
Yeah.
How's that?
Okay,
All right, does that make sense to everybody? Do we need to make a motion on that, or is that, Elizabeth, what's your? Yes. See.
I would suggest making a motion on that. Yep.
I'll make the motion to withdraw the termination notification to Emily Collins. Say that yesterday. I think yesterday, whatever the day was,
Let's see, it was, what day was this? Monday, yeah, yesterday.
January 27th.
26.
Or 26th, sorry, yes.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion on that motion?
So clarifications, and so you're saying the board will continue providing payroll for Emily then if that's what the CDA does?
On a short-term basis until we have the other options secured.
I'll make sure that someone's doing payroll without having an employee.
Okay. But was that part of the motion?
It could be, part of the motion would include that would be for only 2 months, start with 2 months. With the anticipation of getting RFP done by the end of February and have that out for posted for 2 or 3 weeks.
Are you okay with that motion?
Yeah.
Okay, so our motion and we have a second. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay.
We'll come back, Aaron.
Okay, what else do we need to do? So. We're under other still, right? So,
I'm sorry.
Yes.
and Elizabeth, can I talk about contracts that we've had with ODOT and road construction and that kind of stuff under other?
Yes.
Okay. So the question on that is, we still have to pay this going forward to, I'm assuming now ODOT is not it's a reimbursable grant, is that right?
That's what they are telling us. Yes. That's the board's experience previously with that as well. And Emily, do you want to go ahead?
Yeah, I had called Michelle, who's our, the one who manages our grant, and she said that, moving forward and in the past, she needs proof of payment before they can reimburse us. And that includes the contractor fee, the contractors for the road stuff. In the past, our IRZ invoices have been rather small, so it hasn't been noticeable.
So are you saying the question is operating capital to pay the bill first and then get reimbursed on it is the challenge? And that amount is these two.
700 something. Right now,
How much, I'm sorry?
I will get my calculator
Oh,
out here.
yeah.
Chair,
Yes, sir.
is there rental income coming in now on these goods?
We are receiving some income, so on financials.
That's paid in advance, it's not a monthly income.
What's that?
It's paid in advance, it's not a monthly income.
Oh, correct.
Yeah, what, a year advance?
Yes.
6 months?
I believe a year.
Is it a year? Okay, I just wondered. Thank you.
I think they're paying 300 a month. That's what was reflected.
There's a few different, renter agreements. The newest one that we just did for the 10 igloos, those are a monthly, the $300 per month. But you won't see them in our account because we were trying to set them up ACH. And with the issues with our EIN, QuickBooks will not let us do ACH, and so they're all sending in checks, and they've been rolling in, but they just have just now on deposit, so they won't be on December's, but they are back paying for the last couple of months since we've had some issues.
$827,000.
I'm sorry, what was that?
$827,000.
That's all to IRC. Or-
No, this is happening.
And that work has not been done yet, correct?
This is work in progress.
Work in progress.
Both 11/1/2025 to 11/30 and 12/1 to 12/31.
So, Mr. Chair, the primary question is, we need the 827 first in order to get reimbursed on it. We don't have the capital covered, so I guess maybe questions I can give to the other partners is that there's a possibility for one of the partners to cover that in the interim. And I can take that back forward as well, to see but I just, what the terms are, the timeline. We'll be able to cover that.
They reimburse fairly quickly in the state.
Yeah.
Well, then you'll get the money for the next set of invoices.
Yep.
So the other question is too, is that something we just go to banking and operating loan or capital loan, revolving loan? Payment, what do they call it? Because there's there's also the bank in Salem that specifically works in infrastructure. That's the low interest bank. For state infrastructure projects out of Salem. I can't remember what the name of it's called.
I don't know.
But I remember there's other opportunities, but I guess maybe one of the first options, maybe one of the partners is able to come up with the ability to cover it for a short time.
Google search shouldn't find anything. Well, I don't see anybody jumping up and down saying we cover local loans, so I guess we could go back to our respective boards and see if,
I think it's Salem Five Bank,
what is it?
Salem Five Bank, but that's something we'll have to, yeah, I can't commit anything from the board of trustees, but I can take it to them. I said there's interest. But our next meeting is until the 9th of February, and so we'll be at least that long.
Oh, your meeting, okay.
Yeah, my meeting for the
I'm there.
trustees, yeah.
I'm not,
So I would,
have that.
I can have that conversation with them before then, but I won't be able to commit anything until
Yeah.
after.
Understood. Well, maybe we can bring that up at our meeting on the 13th. Add that as an agenda item.
Yep.
Is that too far out, Lisa, for them, or can we wait a couple weeks?
I don't know. I don't know. I've not talked to them. Looks like they turned this in on, they signed it on January 5th. I don't know when we received it.
Probably. As soon as I receive approves it.
Okay. Okay. Looks like we might need a longer meeting on Friday.
Okay,
Are we in a situation where we're potentially in breach of the ODOT agreement right now? I guess maybe, Lisa, if you could send me that letter.
All I'm looking at is the request for payments
Okay.
from the,
from the contractor.
Oh, the contractor.
Okay,
Okay.
and do we have, so we have a contract with IRZ and then a contract with the construction company, which I don't think I ever received a final of that, but we should maybe take a quick look at that and see if we need to send a letter just letting them know that we need some more time to make payments so we don't get out of compliance with that contract.
I'd be happy to call them in the morning or
Okay.
later today.
Perfect.
I can do that. So that we know the answer.
So the extension request go to Tapani then?
Yeah, or at least whatever, at least we're putting them on notice that we're not paying them. It's just that our time frame for paying them is going to be extended because of those reasons. What we don't want to do is get into a situation where the delay in payment causes them to delay work. So
I don't know what the payment terms on our contract with Tapani.
Emily, do you have a final copy of that contract, or could you find that in the CDA files?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you mind sending that to Lisa and I?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And while we're on this topic, I think there was an issue with land use related to the road. Does anybody know whether that has been resolved?
Yes, I can answer that. So the issue was there was no permits that were pulled from Anderson Perry for the engineer of record, or the engineer on this project.
Right.
So at the county level, we didn't have any permits, and the county, it was kind of between a rock and a hard place. How do we hold everybody else accountable if we don't hold CDA accountable? So, but we worked with our planning department, our legal department, and with IRZ and with Anderson Perry We have a plan going forward, so work is able to continue. We did not want to stop work. But as long as we have a plan to go forward with getting permits and all the necessary documentation, that we were comfortable to allow them to continue to work,
Okay,
which is what we would do for anybody, so.
yeah, no, that's perfect. I just didn't want that to get lost in the,
Yeah, no, I appreciate the flag on that, so.
okay, thank you.
Is there anything else that we need to discuss? Yeah, Lisa.
I would like Elizabeth still for us to have an executive session topic pursuant to 1926602D. For the purpose of consideration of deliberations with persons designated by the governing body to carry on labor negotiations. I think that we can still have a discussion about that today.
And the other one, I think maybe 2A. To consider the employment
Yes.
of a public officer, employee, staff member, or individual agent.
Yes.
Okay, I think
Will
we
this
should.
be at Friday's meeting, is that, or today?
Right now.
Right now, okay.
I have those in front of me if you would like me to read them.
Yeah, so are you prepared to go into executive session now, is that what you're saying?
We can always come out and have more discussion after.
Yeah.
Because the other two items I had on the other was finances and IGA. Did everybody want to go now or after either?
Maybe after, that way we might have a better idea.
Okay.
Yeah, so, okay.
And can we read
Okay.
all of the reasons that we have for executive session? The ones
Yes.
on the agenda as well. Okay.
It doesn't change the agenda. Do we need to make a motion to change the agenda or is it not changed?
Yes, it is a change. So, I'll read the ones that are listed here first. ORS 1926602F to consider information or records that are exempt by law from public inspection. ORS 1926662H to consult with legal counsel regarding the legal rights and duties of a public body with regard to current litigation and litigation likely to be filed. ORS 1926662A for the purpose of consideration of the employment of a public officer, employee, staff member, or individual agent. And what's the other one that I said? 1926662D for deliberate purpose of consideration of deliberations of persons designated by the governing body to carry on labor negotiations. Pursuant to ORS 1926664, representatives of the news media and their staff and other persons shall be allowed to attend executive sessions. All right. Did I get that right?
Yes, that's correct. And then the rest of the language there, Lisa, is there under the item number 6 on the agenda.
Do you want to read that, John?
Is that the second page?
Starts on the first page.
Yeah, I can do that. Okay, the CDA may hold an executive session meeting for the permissible reasons stated below under RS 192.660. Sub 2, representatives of the news media and designated staff and other persons shall be allowed to attend the executive session. All other members of the audience will be asked to leave the room, or the CDA board may adjourn to another meeting room. Representatives of the news media are specifically directed not to report on any of the deliberations during the executive session, except to state the general subject of the session as previously announced. No decision will be made in the executive session. At the end of this executive session, we will return to open session and welcome the audience back into the room. So I've got ORS 192.660 sub 2 sub F to consider information records that are exempt from law from public inspection. ORS 192.660 sub 2 sub H. To consult legal counsel regarding the legal rights and duties of a public body with regard to current litigation or litigation likely to be filed. And I didn't write down what you said, Lisa, those other ones.
It's ORS 192.660 sub 2 sub A to consider the employment of a public officer, employee, staff member, or individual agent. And sub D to conduct deliberations with persons designated by the governing body to carry on labor negotiations.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, with that, we will go into executive session. So we need to discuss hiring policies.
Mr. Chair, I'll take us out of the motion. To request Elizabeth Howard to, work on and provide, some draft hiring processes and for the executive director, and that includes appointments of interims, for the executive director position. Is that adequate?
Okay,
I will second that motion.
Okay, we got a motion, a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
And that motion carries.
Another item, Mr. Chair, is the time for the meeting on Friday.
Yes,
Do we try to schedule that Friday afternoon instead of the morning?
yeah, we did have that in the morning, so we're gonna move that into the afternoon. That'll be the 30th, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
At 1 PM? Is that
Yes.
One PM will work.
okay?
Does that work for you, Elizabeth?
Yes, I believe so. Just double check really quick.
It does now,
It does. Yep.
huh? Okay. So we have a motion to move the meeting on the 30th from 9 AM to 1 PM. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any further discussion?
I guess I'll notify Jerry then. Guess he shouldn't have any, he said he was.
Yeah, I think he knows it's coming because we kind of had a little,
So I'll let him know, confirm the time with him
yeah,
for January 30th.
yeah, that'll work. Okay. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
So if there's gonna be more stuff, is it gonna be in person, if there's Zoom or?
I'll be on the road.
Okay.
I'll have to be on Zoom, no matter what.
So that's also the penalty for Citizen of the Year dinner and
Okay.
I'd have to be at that, so I'm
Okay.
thinking still Zoom.
I
Yeah,
think
still
so.
Zoom.
Just where.
Yeah, thank you for the clarification. And then the computer keys.
We need a point person to make sure we recover any, documents, information about the question.
I'd be happy to.
Oh, okay, okay.
Thank you.
Since I close it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to recover any, documents, I don't know if any motion for that, but just documents, passwords. Email, account, stuff.
Okay, everybody else is still here.
okay, hey, back. Elizabeth, can you hear us now?
I can hear you. Yes.
Okay. good.
Okay,
Yeah, we lost internet here for a minute, so. Okay, and
So I think we're wrapping up things for, property data, passwords, all that stuff, and then Lisa offered it.
can you try to point person on that?
I will.
Thank you for that, appreciate it. Okay, and Bob, you're asking about,
Oh, I just wanted to make sure we had, you know, the bank covered as far as signatures, and do we need a new signature authorization?
I literally just sent one in, what? a
I don't
week
know
or
if
2 weeks ago?
Greg is still on her signature.
So,
I believe Grace offered you need.
What's that?
You'll need to remove Kim. And I thought.
And Mr. Chair, I also announced just yesterday, the board of trustees appointed, Kat Bergen, chair of the BOT, is my alternate. So,
Oh, that's, good, yeah, thank you.
Well, that too.
I'm glad you brought that up, okay. And then, so Elizabeth, we need to make a motion to add, let's see, or remove Greg as a signatory.
Should we have that as a
We can do it
agenda item on Friday?
on Friday.
Oh,
And JD can get his person in, Bob can get who he wants his signatures on. I mean, Greg he can sign a check, but it takes 2 signatures, so I think the other signatures, no, not the.
yeah,
Historically, he hasn't been signing checks.
correct. Not that I think you would, but.
Right,
So,
all right. That's good.
Are you signing?
okay.
Yes.
Oh, thanks. Sure.
All right, is there anything else we need to cover?
So Chair Schaefer, just the Secretary of State, assume business name registration, we need to update that. That was Greg had that registration, so this is something I had already been working on, so I just need to Chair Schaefer, if you're willing, or Vice Chair Schaefer, with our chair not available right now, just get that transferred. We can do it by DocuSign. We just need to have one of the board members be willing to be the registrant. We can change that registrant down the road. But we would just need to have both Greg and whoever becomes the registrant sign that. And again, it just needs to be any board member. Who's willing to do that. So
I can do it if Joel is unable to, and I'm getting a head nod from Lisa, so.
okay, let's go ahead and have you do it so we can.
But there's something in the chat, I can't quite read it.
It's her again.
What does it say?
Thanks for standing well on post.
Oh, you were really quiet.
Thank you for staying well composed.
Oh, good. It's not good.
I think the only other item that I think that was discussed is if there's anything else requires any kind of special authorization, and Emily is the employee. If there's anything that needs to occur, like a signature like that, to coordinate with the chair and vice chair for those signatures, or any kind of special authorization, like if needed to pay a bill or something that requires the executive director's authorization to do.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. What you stated, Elizabeth, that authorization devolves to the board, correct?
Yeah, you guys are breaking up really badly, but
Oh, sorry.
I think the answer to that is yes.
I gotta see if we can.
We're on my,
Right now.
Yeah, there's slightly not.
Yeah.
I think that, guess what?
Go back.
Yeah, Elizabeth, if I'll just. I'll restate that, is it still breaking up?
Oh, this might be better.
I'm just
you
gonna
there?
shut off my video real quick, see if that
Okay.
helps.
Yeah, and I was jumping around too. So basically what I stated was that there's anything that requires special authorization that would normally occur by the executive director, that Emily can coordinate with the chair or vice chair to get those authorizations to complete that work.
Yes, that's perfect.
Anything else?
Nothing from me.
Okay, I don't think so. Okay, so with that, we will adjourn until Friday. All right, thank you, everybody.
Thanks.